folks. This is Nolen-John, Zander, coming at you on the 9 Elements YouTube site, which will be propagated elsewhere. This video will be on the Schumann Resonance and its significance and how it impacts the human body, as there is some floating questions about that I've noticed on YouTube. So, the Schumann Resonance is a series of electromagnetic waves that naturally occur in the Earth's atmosphere. So these waves are generated by lightning discharges from the Earth's ionosphere and are thought to be caused by the Earth's magnetic field interacting with the ionosphere. So the Schumann Resonance's fundamental frequency is 7.83 hertz, but there are other Schumann resonance frequencies, as in S, plural. If you need more information, go review my other videos on the Schumann resonance, which you better pack a lunch and get ready for a couple of hours worth of instructions. It is a 101/201 on the Schumann resonance. So, 7.83 hertz is very close to the alpha brainwave frequency of 8 hertz, and some say that it could fluctuate depending on the individual. So it could very well be in the alpha brainwave frequency. Now, alpha brainwave frequency is the relaxed state when you're just relaxing, having fun. Low levels of meditation and possible hypnosis, like when you're watching TV and you succumb yourself or subject yourself to whatever it is you're watching. You are getting rid of your biases by watching science fiction, saying that stuff could never happen, so those things just go away and you accept it as it is. Right? That's the relaxed state. The Schumann resonance is thought to be important for human health because it's believed to be influential brainwave activity and may play a role in regulating human sleep patterns, stress levels, and other physiological processes. Some studies suggest that the exposure to this Schumann resonance may have a number of beneficial effects on the human biology, including reducing stress, improving sleep quality, and increasing overall well-being. So, to say that is to say it's making you subjective to the alpha brainwave state, which gives you that peace, that relaxation, right? Now, it's important to note the relationship between the Schumann resonance and human biology is not fully understood, according to science, because this is a science bridging spirituality thing. So, the stuff that we don't know, what do we say? We say we don't have any evidence. Just like in the 1800s, we didn't know about radio. We didn't know about anything more than the Pony Express for communication. Here we have plenty of devices strapped to our butt, in our pocket, that I can communicate with anybody on the planet if I have the proper identification number. Now, the Schumann resonance is a complex but definitely interesting phenomenon that is thought to be important to human health. But of course, nobody's going to fund that research because that would require somebody stepping up saying the esoterics might have something to do with science and such. Now, how does everything in nature move to its own vibration? And how do our bodies respond to those sound waves? So everything in nature, including living organisms, vibrates at its own unique frequency. This is a concept known as resonance, and it refers to the natural vibrational frequency of an object or a system. Every cell, every organ, and system in the human body has its own unique resonance frequency, and these frequencies can be influenced by a variety of factors, including diet, environment, and emotional state. So that is to say that if the Schumann resonance is let's say it's up. We can't really say that it's up. We can say that it's communicating at a higher level, more volume, more information. It's like tuning your radio in, right? What are they talking about today? The weather, a different song, a new song. They're communicating something, right, to our cells, to our organs, right? Are they talking to us? No. They're talking to our bodies. They're upgrading our bodies. They're communicating with the cell structure and with the organ structures, which are basically cells and molecules and all that happy stuff, based on the location within the human body for the different resonant frequencies. At what frequency does your foot vibrate? What frequency does your liver vibrate at? Okay, they all have different frequencies, and a lot of it is based on these factors such as diet, environment, emotional state, which is your mood. Are you angry? Are you sad? In Power versus Force, there's a chart that describes the emotional states and the approximate frequency levels of those states. Now, sound waves are a form of energy that travels through the air as a series of vibrations or oscillations. When sound waves enter the human body, they can interact with the body's natural resonant frequencies and affect that and affect the way that the cell and tissue actually vibrate. Okay. I don't wish to alarm anybody by saying that, because the Schumann resonance has been around for millennia. We are a part of Gaia, or the Earth. Schumann resonance has been a part of Gaia, the Earth, for millennia. So to say that the Schumann resonance is causing any harm is fantastical at best. Now, some research suggests that different frequencies of sound can have different effects on the human body. For example, certain frequencies may be able to stimulate the body's natural healing processes, while others may have a calming or a stress-reducing effect. And some studies have also suggested exposure to certain frequencies of sound may be able to improve sleep quality, reduce anxiety, and even improve physical function in some individuals. These are scientific studies. Am I going to go through and give you references? No. If you're that hard up for hard science, then look it up. Now, the concept of resonance and frequency is an important one to understand how the body responds to sound wave and how different frequencies may be able to influence the body's natural processes. But it's also important to note that more research is needed, according to science, in order for anybody with a lab coat and a PhD and a little certificate that says I'm important to come up with anything that agrees with nature. All right. How the Earth's natural resonance can affect our bodies, such as our energy and mood levels. The Schumann resonance is a series of electromagnetic waves that occur in the Earth's atmosphere caused by the Earth's magnetic field close to the alpha brainwave state, as I just stated. Research also suggests that the Schumann resonance may have an impact on human health and well-being and is believed to influence a brainwave activity and may play a role in regulating sleep patterns, stress levels, and psychological processes. So now we're talking restfulness. We're talking actual sleep, right? Or rest during sleep. You know how you go to bed and you know that you slept for 8 hours, but you wake up and you feel like you only slept for 5 minutes. You're not rested, right? So you go to work feeling like crap, groggy, and you pump freaking 15 Red Bulls and 15 cups of coffee, maybe a pitcher of some other energy drink down your neck, trying to make it through the day. It's because you have an issue, you have a chemical imbalance, which, according to scientific studies that I've just spoken about, actually have proven that the frequency ranges within the Schumann resonance have a very calming and very good and very beneficial effect on the human body. And as I did state, the Schumann Resonance has no business, or let me restate, the Schumann Resonance is not talking to you. Doesn't want to talk to you. Doesn't want to talk to your consciousness. He wants to talk to your body, the cell structure inside of your body, the atoms, the cells, right? Possibly the molecules in certain places in your body to regulate the upcoming changes that Gaia is going through. Okay? Let's see, what else do they have to say? Yes, the Schumann Resonance, how it's used, and it can promote health and healing. 1, listen to recordings of the Schumann Resonance. Some people that listen to the Schumann Resonance, either through headphones or speakers, usually you want to do it through binaural beats so that the frequency in one ear and the other ear correlate, even though they're different frequencies, the stereo effect. In the middle part of the brain, they come together at a specific frequency of, like, let's say 7.83 hertz or 8 hertz to cause the whole brain effect, so that the whole brain is vibrating at the same frequency, which triggers the mood effect, right? If you want to learn more about the binaural frequencies, I could probably make a video on that a little bit later. That's an easy one. Now, using the Schumann Resonance generating devices, there are a number of devices available, and they're designed to generate Schumann resonances. An exposed body to these frequencies can cause a very good calming effect. You can put these devices throughout your home, and now your whole home is a more calm environment. Pretty interesting, huh? So, practicing meditation, other relaxation techniques, science has actually been crowbarred into believing these things are actually helpful. Lo and behold, people for millennia have known this for years, but now science says that it might actually have some good effects. Because science knows better. Some people believe that practicing meditation and other relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation, can help to align the body's natural resonance frequencies with the Schumann resonance and promote health and healing. So, science-backed studies is basically saying the human being, through meditation, needs to regulate their own individual frequencies to match that of nature and the Schumann resonance. You ever notice how animals know that something's coming, some sort of weather pattern is coming, and we're completely oblivious? Not necessarily just because we're in the middle of a electromagnetic microwave inside of a city, but even so, we should be able to feel that coming because we're not listening to our own bodies, let alone the earth. And how can we with rubber-soled shoes and concrete under our feet, reinforced with steel? Now, the potential benefits of the Schumann resonance in health are not quite understood through science. They say that more research is required, but who's going to fund it? How much is the medical industry worth? I'll leave it there. Now, Schumann resonance has an impact on human health and well-being and is believed to influence the brainwave activity. It absolutely plays a role in regulating sleep patterns, stress levels, and other physiological processes. So when you go to bed at night, that's when it can do most of its work, not because it's nighttime, but because you're not being bombarded with distracting devices. Your mind is not racing on the next TikTok page or the next Facebook post, right? You're relaxed. You're basically focused on resting. So, where do we get some of the devices that generate the resonance tone? Well, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, I don't have anybody in particular. Just go to online retailers, specialty stores, alternative health practitioners. I would not recommend the high-level Amazon or anything like that. Maybe the specialty stores on specialty websites I would probably go with. I do not have any of those here, but probably a bad idea to buy anything from China. Okay? Speak with your healthcare professional before using this, because I'm not a healthcare professional. I don't have a certificate that says I'm important, which makes me more qualified, in my opinion. So, while looking for the device that generates the Schumann resonance, it's important to do your research. Definitely do your freaking research. Okay? This is not something to be trifled with. As I mentioned, the Schumann resonance frequency can cause great relaxation. The wrong frequency will mess you up. Okay? So find something of the right frequency. How do you do that? You get a frequency measuring device. Or you trust the individual that has it. Make sure they got some good reviews. Make sure there's other people that have tried this out before you do, because you don't want to be somebody else's guinea pig, especially if your health is not in the best. Right? Now, since we talked about that, let's see, what else do I have on Schumann resonance? So, considering it's next to or very close to the alpha brainwave frequency, how does it exactly affect humans? Well, we really don't know. We know that it affects sleep patterns. We know that it affects relaxation. Does it affect the health? I would say studies have shown that it does have a physiological process, but, we have the placebo effect. So somebody that believes something is going to actually benefit it could actually benefit it, and it's just you as the placebo that is making the changes. Dr. Joe Dispenza has an entire book on the placebo process, which I'll probably review something of that or come up with my own goody stuff to preach to you about. Now, it's not clear, of course, because we can't measure it, to what extent exposure to an artificially generated Schumann resonance frequency is actually going to have on the human body. I would say because the Schumann resonance is a frequency. If you just put out a frequency, that does not necessarily mean that it's getting the information that Gaia is giving you. Natural is always going to be the best. But that would require you living in a natural environment. Maybe a house made out of mud like they used to make. Maybe get the F out of the city and go spend time in nature. Take off your shoes, which is kind of difficult now because it's really freaking cold outside, as it is coming up on New Year's. Oh, I need to do one on New Year's resolutions. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Get out in nature. Yeah, it's cold. But if the fox and the dog, even though they have fur, can survive outside and they do not hibernate, right? We should be able to as well. Go talk to and look at Wim Hof and his methodologies. Right? It's possible because he's done it. And not just Wim Hof. Wim Hof is just the white guy with a beard looking like a Westerner doing the same techniques that yogis and such have been doing over in the East for millennia. It's only because he's a white guy with a beard, right? And not some guy stuck in a mountain in the top of Tibet somewhere. And he's telling you how to do the pranayama methodology that he's focused on, right? It's not Wim Hof's technique. It is the Wim Hof method because he is teaching it. That does not make it his. It's like discovering something and then calling it your invention. Doesn't work that way. But anyway, I shall digress once again. So, since the Schumann Resonance has been going for millennia, I would say it's impossible for it to have a detrimental effect on humans. Now, that's not to say there's other electromagnetic sources and other electromagnetic radiations running around the planet, right? You ever heard of a radio? How about Wi-Fi? You heard of that? So, since the Schumann resonance is a natural phenomenon, it is not harmful to humans. Period. So, other sources of electromagnetic waves that humans are exposed to in the modern times, such as cell phones, wireless networks, and other forms of technology, there are some researches that have been allowed to be published, has suggested that the exposure to certain types of these electromagnetic radiations may have negative impacts on human health. So the evidence on the topic is mixed, and more research is needed because the telecommunication industry is worth how much? Aha. So, be mindful of potential source of electromagnetic radiation in your environment. Take steps to minimize this exposure. Get out of town, Jack, Jill, Janie, binary, whatever you want to call yourself today. Now, other forms of electromagnetic radiation. So we're talking about a wide range of frequencies. Radio waves, microwaves, infrared radiation, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma radiation waves, right? Let's see what we got here. Radio waves are electromagnetic waves with a long wavelength and low frequency. They're used to transmit information such as radio and television, broadcasting, and wireless communications such as cell phones and Wi-Fi. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves with a shorter wavelength and higher frequency rate than radio waves and used for a variety of purposes, including cooking, wireless communications, and radar. 5G fits into that category. Infrared communication. Infrared radiation is electromagnetic radiation with a longer wavelength and a lower frequency than visible light. It is emitted by warm objects and is used in a variety of applications, including heating, thermal imaging, and remote control stuffs. Visible light. Visible light is the electromagnetic radiation that is visible to the human eye. It has a short wavelength and a higher frequency than infrared radiation and is emitted by light sources such as the sun and light bulbs. I would say exposes light and is reflected off of the item, causing the color that we see. But, that's regular science. Ultraviolet radiation is electromagnetic radiation with a shorter wavelength and a higher frequency than visible light and is emitted by the sun and can have both beneficial and harmful effects on the human body, as we all know. X-rays are a form of electromagnetic radiation with a very short wavelength and a very high frequency. They're used for medical imaging and other purposes, but can be harmful if not used properly. That's why you wear that lead jacket when you're getting your teeth done, right? We're going to shoot radiation at your face, so wear this lead jacket, but we're not going to protect your brain. But hey, it's okay. Now, what are the frequency ranges of these radiations? Radio waves have a frequency range of 3 Hz to 300 gigahertz. Microwaves have a frequency range of 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. So microwaves and radio waves are kind of in the same frequency range. So infrared radiation has a frequency range of 300 gigahertz to 400 terahertz. Visible light has a frequency range of 400 terahertz to 800 terahertz. Ultraviolet radiation has a frequency range of 800 terahertz to 30 pH, which is photohertz. I don't have that information right now, and I'm not just going to guess. So 300 pHs, 300 pH hertz, farahertz, whatever. X-rays have a frequency range of 30 pHz, whatever hertz, to 30 EHz. Right? Gamma rays have a frequency range of 30 EHz and higher. So, these are approximate frequency ranges, and that specific frequencies of electromagnetic radiation can vary depending on the source and the specific type of radiation and how much power is backing that up. So go ahead and comment below and educate me on the PHZ and the EHZ, but somebody should have that information. I know you guys are smart. So hit me up, educate me. So which ones have the potential to be harmful to humans? We can talk about this all day long, but basically, I would say anything outside the bioelectromagnetic frequencies of the human body are detrimental to it. So when you take, as I mentioned before in the other video, if you take a magnet and you stick it inside of another magnetic area, it's going to affect that electromagnetic flow. So when it screws with the electromagnetic flow, right, now your toroid is AFU. So we don't want that to happen. So having a cell phone too close to maybe your center core, right, of the toroid might not necessarily be the best thing. And a lot of scientific rebuttals from such industries have said that it's only temporary and the human body will heal itself after the effect. So the issue here is, if I stick your face or your head in a microwave for 2 seconds, you'll be okay. I don't think you're going to heal from that. I have never seen a piece of meat heal itself. I've seen it cool off. I have never seen any type of food heal itself from being cooked in a microwave. So I will go with, I prefer not to stick my head in a microwave. Just saying. But that's just me. You can believe the communities or the industries that have a vested interest in keeping things the way that they are. Or you can have cognitive, you can have a bias for your own health. You can have, what the hell am I looking for here? You can have your own opinion. For now, at least it's legal. For now, but use your own critical thinking. Think for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Well, actually, I'm sorry, they do, which is why we're in the state that we're in today. So, anything else with the... So, the bioelectric fields. Bioelectric fields within a certain frequency range can be measured with instruments. Yep, yes, they can. X-rays, UV radiation has been known to cause sunburn. High levels of X-rays or gamma rays can cause cellular damage and other health problems. What does it say about radio waves? They're also detrimental to the human body because they are used in microwaves, hence the term microwave. So, if you want to cook yourself, good for you. But I would probably use this speaker phone thing rather than sticking it next to your face to communicate. at least until you develop something else. Even the laptop computer is spinning. So anything else? The microphone, I don't know. I'm sure there's a small amount of a toroid going on in there, as there's a light in there and things are, you can hear me. So what kind of power is being put out, what kind of frequency is being put out, are absolutely detrimental to the human bioelectromagnetic field, or the human toroid, whichever way you want to prefer to say that. So, back to Schumann Resonance, and I will leave it there because I don't want to blabber on forever, as I usually do. What am we looking at here today? 30 minutes. Oh, wow. So, back to the Schumann Resonance. Pay attention. Get the natural version, right? We're not looking for a supplement, although it probably would be beneficial to keep it around your house, considering all the electromagnetic devices that are within your house producing a different effect. Maybe the Schumann Resonance may be able to cancel that out. Go take a look at the Schumann Resonance 101, 201 to find out what you could possibly do. That's the big one, the droning one that I talked for over an hour with. But it tells you everything you need to know about the Schumann Resonance. Okay? That's why I thought I was going to stop talking about it because I thought it was everything about the Schumann Resonance wrapped up into one, which mostly is, but everybody wants to know what the Schumann Resonance is talking about today. It's talking about what it's always been talking about, the evolution of the human in congruency and in step with Mother Gaia. Just like the animals and the fishes and every other creepy, crawly, flying, whatever thing that's on the planet. Okay? We could be outside of that territory, but that can be argued all day and all night. Let's stick to Mother Gaia and what she is trying to communicate to us, or to our cellular structure for, I don't know, maybe evolution, or maybe the maintenance of our bodies and our systems based on the other electromagnetic frequencies that we're sticking up outside of Mother Gaia and bouncing different frequencies off her ionosphere, interfering directly with the Schumann Resonance. So she's going to have to pump out more information to the rest of the planet, not necessarily just humans, but all of her creations, or all of her creatures, let's say. Since we were residing here, at least, whatever methodology you want to use to argue whether or not we're here, how we got here, whatever, we're here. She's given us information. I've already said that even science has proved that the Schumann Resonance has a beneficial effect, period. Why not get more of that? But in order to do that, you'd have to step outside your house. They were saying that certain locations on the earth, you can actually hear and feel the resonant frequencies of Gaia. But I guarantee you it's not going to be in New York City, right? It's not going to be in Los Angeles. It's not going to be in Buenos Aires, right? It's going to be out in the heart of nature. Find a power spot. Maybe somewhere where there's a big thing of bedrock, or maybe those stone circles they keep, well, they don't keep talking about it, they kind of squash those, but there's stone circles throughout the world. Go and take a look for those, do a search for those stone circles. I'm not talking about just Stonehenge, right? There's some actual stone circles that are within embedded at ground level, they stick up maybe 2 or 3 inches, and sometimes not at all. Sometimes they stick up 5 or 6 inches, but they're actually stone circles that have a resonating frequency in those power spots, because they're power spots. Acupressure, acupuncture points, if you will, for Mother Gaia. Ley line nexus points, possibly, to say the same thing. All right? Well, this is Zander, Nolen-John, Zander, signing off for Nine Elements Ministry. We'll be talking about this stuff, and we're going to expand out a little bit. I was thinking about creating 3 or 4 different websites, talking with a few of my people. I've decided to go with one website and one channel. This is the YouTube channel. We'll be talking about a few other things. Probably not so much on the sovereignty section, because that gets me shut down pretty quick. Some of the other stuff I'm going to have to talk around, but if you want to know the truth, you're going to have to go to my channel, or excuse me, not my channel, but my website, the number 9elementsministry.com, and once it's up, you'll be able to navigate through there to find the different subjects of food, sovereignty, happiness, divinity, and frequency and energy, to include stuff like the Schumann Resonance and things of that nature. So, basically, a conglomeration of what you would possibly call the Gaia channel. So instead of spending $10 a month, you can listen to me yammer on the subjects that I can and pique my interest to talk about on this channel. This is my spiritual journey, so buckle up, as I'm going to have to, and we'll try to we're not going to try, I'm going to voice some truths that I find, and whether or not you like them is, whether or not you like the truth. Because we do live in a society today where the truth is being suppressed, which is usually always, but when the truth is being suppressed by other people of the same class, I will say, or that society is so fake, the truth actually hurts people emotionally, not physically. So that's a terrible place to be, actually. Anyways, Schumann Resonance. Good thing. Makes you happy, makes you relaxed. So get more of it. You're not going to be able to go down to the store and buy a pill. You could buy a device, but I would probably recommend more so to get out into nature. Albeit a bit chilly in the northern hemisphere. If you're down in Australia, then, knock yourself out. But as it stands at the time of this video, coming up in the end of December 2022, which means the end of the year, yeah, freaking cold. And I'm in Alabama. We just had a weird freezing spell, but now they say they were not going to see that again. Right. Got it. Understood. Pole shift 6 miles over the past 30 days. Nothing to be alarmed at here, folks. That's what they tell you. Anyways, be happy. Tune in for the next video. I don't know when, but I got some work to do on my website, so I'm going to have to sign off here today. Thank you, and smile more.